This is a very inspirational loading screen. I see they really start you off with nothing here. For quality of life, I like to set my quests to F4. This is all just kind of boilerplate, nothing too interesting here. This is the interesting bit. So this mod pack I think was assembled by the team behind Crate. I don't know how many people or if it was just one, but the pack's centered around the Crate mod. And they got these shipments and these market things I'll have to explore later. But yeah, the goal is to get to space, and you have a massive factory that you got to make to get you there. And then you can sell stuff and buy stuff, and looks like that's what this is. Off I go. I'll click this little button up here. Cool. Nothing super handy, super useful. They really gave you nothing. I don't know what kind of base I'm looking for. Whatever it is, it's gonna need sugarcane. Is that a penguin? What's that penguin? What is this? Wild cabbage. What is this thing? A TOS? Wait, what? Breaking the chest will delete your unique loot and all the items in the chest. In order to break, you must sneak while doing so. I don't know what that means. Well, now we know. Now we know. When it says it's going to delete the loot is deleted. At Tinker. Tinkers is. Cool. 1.16 Tinkers. Encyclopedia of Tinkering. Kind of a neat looking cabin, I would say. A blaze burner. That was a bad call. I should have been running towards these sheep long before it got dark. I need your wool, sir. One, two, three. We're getting precariously low on hunger haunches. There's a whole heck of a lot about 1.16 I don't understand. The bees and the villagers have jobs. Which one of these cabins has the stuff in it that I want? Polar bear even. That seems problematic. What does a buddy card do? So I'm not exactly sure where I want, how I want a base, but I figured I might as well build a little cabin. I'm kind of right near the ocean. Got snow down here. There's a village. I think I'm far enough away. Hopefully they don't, it's not chunk loaded. They die, but I'll find out. I've always used the Matok in the past for moving dirt. I don't think you're supposed to, but I wonder if in this newer version, if you're supposed to. It's been nearly a week, and I have progressed a little bit off stream and off camera, but not a whole lot. Looking at the guide here, when you accept the chapter 1 task, it actually unlocks a whole new chapter 1 here, which is kind of cool. It doesn't overwhelm the player. When you click on it, they tell you you should really get a good supply of logs, and they kind of give you a story on how to do that. Well, stone, sand, and kelp. So a quick run through on those. And then lifesavers. I built one of these things, which is this guy you see running around here. He's really cool. He just kind of harvests my crops and plants them in a chest behind me, or puts them there rather. This is an amazing food supply right here, thanks to that little dude who has Many days life. Many days of life left. Whoops, taking lots of damage. I did a decent amount of exploring, and there's these ruins around that you can actually take crate components from, as well as raiding certain villages. I don't exactly know what I raided and what I made, but it's a crude little windmill. You can see some of the sails are missing the wool piece, but the plate I needed to make a few gold plates. I think it was for this wrench tool. And then I just threw on the mechanical saw to see how chopping down trees would work. So I've got some ideas. I'm not too experienced with Create, so I'm definitely going to have to look for tips and tricks on how to do this. Going back to this page, obviously, I think this component here is used in tons of recipes, so you really have to have this whole procedure automated, and that's kind of my goal here. Again, I'm just trying to learn the basics, but I have a really simple, what is this thing called? Some kind of bearing, but it's a kelp farm and it's really tiny. I'm gonna have to make it bigger. There's my little kelp farm. The strainer thing's kind of cool. It's 0%. It just collects sand for you and clay, which is again part of that quest, chapter 1 quest. And I figured I'll mention this in case anyone else was struggling like me, but you have to get this canvas, then you have to get this straw, and basically they tell you you can use rice and more rice to make it. And I ran all around my world and I could not find any rice. And then they say here, just make a knife and cut down crops. So I ran around like a madman, chopping down tall grass, chopping down tall grass. And it might take a little while. I don't know what the drop rate is, but it seems to not be too bad. So FYI, if you're trying to figure out how to get this straw, you can just do that. And it's not too bad. You should just find a prairie meadows. I said that funny. A prairie meadows to really ham that out. I got a bit of a to-do list here. I made this this backpack. I think it's worth it. Kind of an interesting recipe with a sewing spool. A basic one is yay big. Andesite is obviously a really important thing in this pack, and apparently there's this Bobble Gen mod that if you've got bedrock and lava and water, it'll make a random type of ore. Andesite's 25% chance, I believe. So I have to automate this too somehow, and it's way down at bedrock. So I'm imagining I'm going to have to set up some kind of rail car or something, because I don't know of a better way to move items around in this world besides a rail track system. I also need to really get a smelter up and going so I can make proper picks. These Tinkers things, not use these silly vanilla tools. This iron is so expensive. This is my fancy ores chest, which is pretty sad for the amount of time that I've spent mining. And if you didn't know, when you cook ores, you get nuggets. I think it's 3 nuggets. So it's expensive. I've actually found most of my iron in adventuring in chests, I think, is where the irons come from. I guess this ends episode 1.